Hi everyone, welcome back to Crochet Rocks. Tracy here, and well, what a day, seriously. Now, yes, I've been doing all these squares. Well, obviously two of them are for later on in the year, and there's a couple on the go at the minute, and the one that I really wanted to do, I will show it to you today because it's up tomorrow, which means it's up today for you, because as you well know, my today, your tomorrow, my yesterday. So there were two aspects of it. There was a coaster. I haven't finished that one. There was a coaster, obviously Captain America, right? So then I turned it into a square, and there was things I didn't like about it. See around here, all that bleeding of this grey silver into the blue. Oh, I don't like that so much. And I was trying my best to get rid of that. A few incarnations later, I succeeded. Gone, right? So, but this is the coaster I made first of all. Still lots of bleeding into it. Didn't like that. Had to go. So I did that. And then I made this one, but it was a bit loose in places and there was holes I didn't like, and plus I did something wrong there. So I had another go. And then looking at this one, I wanted the square to show the top part being the star. So as I had that one to go by, I was able to do it. So here we are, finished. It's not got any of that. Well, it's got a tiny amount of bleeding, but not a great deal. I've made the red ones thinner and the silver one around the outside of the shield wider. It could either be that way or that way. I'm not really sure. Just think this one is way too much red. Plus I didn't like that increase there. That's acrylic. This is cotton. So I wanted to make it cotton because I'm going to do two tutorials. There's going to be a coaster and then there's going to be the square. So that will be the project part of it, will be the coaster. So I made it so that the square is up the top. Obviously it's not if you put it that way, but you know, it can only have one top, I guess. So there it is. I've done it. Oh my God, what a nightmare. What a nightmare. Getting rid of that sparking, that little bleeding area. Really hated it. I tried everything. And in the end, I did have another little go. There was one a bit similar to this that was better. So this was, might have been that one actually. No, there is another star somewhere. But this got better. It's just this was made with Aran yarn and acrylic, whereas the others were made of cotton. Because obviously if you're going to make coasters, you're going to want to make cotton ones. But did I have a bit of a mare with that? And then of course Gary comes in and he said that's something about the points not being right, and I thought, it's yarn. I can't make it like it's yarn, isn't it? Squishy. Anyway, I think I made it pointy enough in the end. It's pointy enough. Oh. Yeah, that was and I wrote it several times. So yeah, done it in the end. Oh. So I hope I don't have as much of a mare with the other one I want to do. While I was out in the yarn van, I brought some yarn in for it, and yeah, I did that. So I went to the health food shop today, and only because Gary wanted to. Gary had this thing in it, be in his bonnet about going and looking for jigsaw puzzles because he loves a jigsaw, and if he goes in the charity shops, he gets pretty decent jigsaws that people have already done between £2 or £3, and he's had some really good ones in the past, so he wanted to go look. So I went into town and had a look there, and I thought, oh, I'll pop in, see what they've got in the health food shop, because I've been reading, you know, Mindy's book. And there was a few things in there that looked promising. See, Gary's had this flare up of his hand, and I've been looking into it, and the thing that is really good for gout is cherries, but not just any cherry. It's got to be a certain type of cherry. So they had extract of that cherry. So he's got some of that now. See if that's going to help, you know, because poor Gary is suffering. Let's ooh, I thought I'd got a bit chicken or something on there then. Wasn't. It's part of the picture. It was a bit of boba. So boba was yesterday. Oh heck, what is that? I don't know. I have to put some spectacles on. Does it make it any more obvious? I think it's a tunnel. I think it's on Mandalore where that monster lives in the water. Because that looks like it's a tunnel here. I have no idea. It's just no. Whatever that is, it's the day. Let's have a look at why your cat thinks you're an idiot. They love to sing to us, but they hate it when we serenade them. Meow. Shut up. Meow. So, do you remember cats calling? Don't get that so much now. No, most owners have them neutered. It's like we impose our will on pets, don't we, really? When you think about it, we make them sterilised. It's kind of unfair in a way. I know you don't want all loads and loads of kittens or loads and loads of puppies, so it's not in a way. But and also the world is overrun by cats. Well, you know, so the cat protection people go around neutering cats to try and stop the overrunning of said pussycats. So yeah. But it is weird how we feel like we've got the right, isn't it? Because we're more knowledgeable. Allegedly. Got to say that. Allegedly. So I was going to sit down and then I looked and my plait was a real mess. Hair all coming out of it. It's like, whoa. That's probably why I was tearing my hair out doing that square. I sat on the sofa and Gary went outside, sat in the sun for a bit while I got stuck in. And every now and then he would come in for a drink and give me his opinion. Yeah. Go away, I said in the end. Go on. Yes. Bless him. So tomorrow I've got to try and do that tutorial with him around, which, you know, I'm not really sure how that's going to go. But yeah, I've got to do that. So I managed to get my crochet along done for this particular week. But I'm going to do sort of the next one will probably be 2 different colours, but it might be a wide pattern, but it might just be that I'll band it so we get some thinner striping, because I quite like that when you get like a smaller bit. Yeah, just saying. So anyway, I've got not much to tell you really. Been out, been absolutely scorching today. I put loads of Factor on and I haven't got burnt, although my face was red before I came in here. Put some cream on and stop it looking like a tomato. But it's been a really, really hot day today. And yeah, I'm not sure I like that anymore. Yeah, I know I'm air conditioned. The actual sun and being stuck out in it, it can be a bit warm, you know, when you're not used to being out in it anymore. And wearing sunglasses, I just had like sweaty eyeballs, you know, that little pool that comes under your eye. But it was mega, mega hot. We only went to the other end of the island. It's a bit Skid Row, I'll be honest with you. The actual high street is definitely a bit Skid Row. All you get along our high street are charity shops. Banks are just closing all over the country, right, left and centre. And cafes, that's it, really. One post office, which isn't even a proper post office anymore. It's kind of a corner shop. and you get there are some funny little shops with knickknacks in. It's weird, really, because you go in and you don't know what it's about. I went in earlier and Gary was looking for jigsaws in this shop, which we thought was a charity shop, and it wasn't. And they had some nice Swarovski kind of crystal jewellery in there. It wasn't genuine Swarovski, you know, the shop, but it was made with Swarovski crystals. It was very pretty. And then I went in that, remember I did a open with me and I had that Crochet World book that was an American book, really. Oh, I wonder if there's a new one out. So I went in there. No, nothing at all in there. And even that, it's not really a newsagent's. It sells kind of cards and magazines and then other stuff, toys, a bit of food. You know, it's like no shop is kind of got an identity in the town. And I'm surprised they've survived, because most things don't. You know, most shops just, they're there and then they're closed. But lots and lots of thrift stores, as you call it, across the pond. And tons of cafes. That's about all you get, really. And the odd bank, but not many. So, yeah, boring town. One health food shop, which I can't believe is still there. Holland and Barrett's. Not the cheapest, so I'm surprised, you know. There must be a couple of people on this island keeping it going. Yeah, go figure that. It wasn't packed, you know, let's just say, but they keep it open. But it's a nice branch as well, that's the thing. It's a nice big one, and it must pay for itself, surely. Anyway, I think I preferred the square made with cotton. I think it might have been better if I had some DK, but I'd only got Aran, and I don't know, I used a small hook, but it was just so stiff. Whereas this one, making the coaster, I would have liked it to be stiff, but it's not. But anyway, so relieved I managed to iron out those rough spots. Oh my, what a headache that was. And it wasn't really the square that I wanted to do. I've got a few more on the go at the same time, and of some projects. It's harder to do when Gary's at home, though. It really is. And even though I'll go outside, I'll be sitting out there, and I'll sit in the front of the television and I'll have it on silent. It still makes it difficult for me. I don't know why. I've got a sore tongue on this side. It's food related. What I had for breakfast, something in that aggravated it, and so it's going to hurt for a couple of days. It struck me, though. Remember when I had the cancer? Years and years before, I kept getting this sore tongue on that side. I don't get it that side anymore. I get it this side. I just hope that it doesn't mean that I'll end up with it that side. But leaving up my neck, you know, if he has to do the other side. But I'll end up with a very skinny tongue. It'll be like a lizard. Shouldn't make jokes about it, Trace. It wasn't a very nice time of your life. You know, just saying. It's a bit crap. Remember this? My goblet. But I'll get my water out and have some water in the goblet. Pretend I'm a princess. There we go. Be a princess. Cheers. I'm a princess. It tastes so much better out of a goblet. Just saying. You know, placky bottle or goblet, it just really tastes so much nicer. So, my eating habits, the way I like approach food now is totally different. It's weird. I always used to say I could be a meatitarian, you know, just eat meat and nothing else. You know, I like veg, but you know, I could never give up meat. That's what I used to say. I couldn't be a vegetarian. No way. on this planet. I love my meat too much, and especially chicken legs. I hardly eat it now. And for dinner, Gary, I did some chicken yesterday, which we didn't eat, right? All we had was a couple of slices of beef each, which was left over, and our salad and new potatoes. Well, today he made potato in its jacket. We had one slice of beef each, and when I say slice, it was this big, and a salad, and that was it. And we had 2 chicken legs sitting there each, and I kind of ate one for the sake of it, but the other 3 are going to get thrown out because Gary won't eat them, and is not in the mood for it. He might eat them later, we'll see, but I doubt it somehow. But there was a time when I would have just ate the chicken first, you know, and that would have been my main thing that I wanted. And it struck me really, when we did have the roast beef, I had 3 slices. Well, I would have normally had half a plate. I'm not really joking. I would have had a good third of my plate of meat, but I just had a few bits of slices of beef. And I keep thinking, like, really, my eating habits have really changed. And Gary's mum once said to me, when you get older, you don't want to eat so much meat. And I thought, that won't happen to me, you know. Carnivore, for crying out loud. Well, here we go. I'm not eating so much meat, which is a bit not good if you want to do low carb. Really, you know, just saying. Don't get me wrong, when we went out for that meal, I had the kind of meat platter, and it was beautiful. But I found myself giving bits away, even so. So yeah, I didn't eat it all. And I'm finding it hard now to plough my way through meat as much as I used to. Maybe it's a part of the fact that this is kind of a thing since COVID. I don't know. Because I remember when I had COVID, I went off chicken altogether. And I like it again now, but I tend to, if I'm going to eat it now, I'll eat it in something. You know, like if I make for instance, if I made a tagliatelle or I made Alfredo, I'd want to eat that chicken. Make a curry, I'd eat the chicken. But it's not like I crave that much in the way of meat now. It's bizarre, really. So alien to me. I'm finding it hard. Hard to think of how to do low carb anyway. So maybe I won't need so much. Just like, hello, this talk a low carb person. I don't know. I'm still kind of in 2 minds about what to do with this diet. I've got to do something. Anyway, enough of all of that. But it's weird though, isn't it? Don't you think? How you change, how your habits change, how your fancies change. It is really. Unfortunately, I still fancy cake, and I still fancy chocolate, and I still fancy ice cream and custard. I fancy that all the time. Funny, there was, do you know, I was reading this though. There are some gut bacteria that if you lack, and then the bad gut bacteria make you crave sweet stuff. And I thought, well, maybe all my life I've just had too much of the sweet craving gut bacteria. Need to out that one by making the others more prominent. And it'll be interesting to see if it goes. And the funny thing was, all the time, you know, if you do a low carb diet, you go right off the sweet stuff. Maybe they all croak because they're not getting it, you know. I don't know. Weird. We are kind of made up of billions of bacteria. Did you know that? On our skin, inside our bodies. We're just one big bug when you think about it. Not a spider, obviously. No. But we are. It's all just living on us and in us. Cheerful day. I'm doing this a little later than usual, so I'm hoping the lighting is okay, because it is, believe it or not, 7 o'clock. It feels like when we was eating, it was about 6:15. Felt like 3 o'clock to me, and I don't know why. The day has just sort of flown, and but it doesn't feel like, you know, my inner clock is well and truly wrong. when I think it was because when I was sitting there working out that square, time just evaporated really. But I started rewatching The Walking Dead, the Negan and Maggie one, because there's season 2 coming out within days, and obviously we'll let them mount up before we watch it. But I said to Gary, you know, do you really remember what happened in that? And he said, yeah. And I don't clue. So I started watching it. I got about 3 or 4 in. I don't remember hardly any of it really. Really don't. All I kind of remember from what I've seen is that her son is being held somewhere and they go after him. That's all I remember really. The rest of it, good job on rewatching it really. But you know, I can remember things from shows that I watched years and years ago. They must have been extremely memorable. But a lot of the things you watch now, don't you find that they are infinitely more forgettable? You can rewatch them because you don't remember it. Or is it just me? Maybe it's just me. I don't think it is. I don't think it is. They just don't make TV like they used to, I don't think. Oh, you know you're getting old when you say that. They don't make things like they used to. They don't make telly like they used to. One good thing from yesterday, though, I was bitching big time about the women's Euros taking off Emmerdale. It was like, it's bad enough that men's football sometimes makes us have to wait. Like, they take off the soaps for men's football without now being women's football as well, having it happen twice. You know, it's like, oh, I wasn't very happy. Gary saying, you realise you should be glad that these women are playing football. I said, I don't really care whether they are or not, but why does it have to be on my channel when I need to watch something else? I was getting very irate about it, you know. It winds me up. It always has done. You know, as soon as something, oh, we'll just take that off the air. Or sometimes what they do is if it's a half hour long, they'll put in a few hour-long episodes because, you know, something's coming up that is going to take the place of it. And I don't remember them doing that. That's the thing. And the one last night was only half an hour. So, yeah, wasn't particularly pleased that, you know, it was making room for the Euros. They've got other channels they can put it on. ITV have 4 channels. ITV 1, 2, 3 and 4. And most people get them all because they're free. So why don't they just put it on ITV2? People who want to watch it will go over there and watch it, won't they? Just whinger. That's what I am. Well, I was ginger when I was, so I could call me a ginger whinger. And that would be an apt description of me, I'm afraid, today. Grumpy. This last few days when they've been messing with my programmes, yes, definitely grumpy. Oh. Anyway, I've got a sore tongue, so I'm not happy. Not happy bunny. It's everything I eat kind of aggravates it, which is annoying. And it is food allergy that causes it. Just, you know, can't really, sometimes I just feel like it's things that are acidic, you know, like a tomato or something like that. But I can't pinpoint the exact thing that causes it. It's never the same thing twice. Anyway, enough of that. Watch out for my square. I sweated blood and tears over that square. Well, it wasn't that hard, but you know what I mean. It was just, I needed to get rid of that kind of colour bleed. I did not like it. You see what I mean? I know it could look like a sparkle, but I don't need it to look like a sparkle. And you kind of get that in every sort of bit of crochet, don't you? It's sort of, you get the, but when you want a straight edged line, you can't, drives me mad. So this is infinitely better, even though there are still the odd one, but nowhere near as bad. So I'm going to try my best to get that down tomorrow without too much hassle, I hope. Anyway, I'm going to get off and upload this and then do my postage for my orders and go and watch a bit of TV with Gary, although he's not wanted to watch anything lately, but I might be able to. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Sorry I'm whingy, but I'm having one of those days, really. Moan. I'll moan if I like. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Hopefully I'll be all happiness and light because I'll have done it and it'll be over. See you on the next one. Bye for now.